As we begin the analysis of BJT amplifiers, we see a schematic that shows a common emitter amplifier. Here we have the input going into the base and the output is being capped off of the collector, and we also show the DC biasing presented using the voltage divider network of R1 and R2, as well as the collector and emitter resistors. Now, when we begin our analysis, we always find the DC solution first. The DC solution provides us with the parameters that we need for the small signal model that we will use for the analysis. Next, we're going to short all DC voltages and open all DC current sources. And finally, we're going to short any large capacitors, such as these capacitors at the input and the output. If we do that, we would come up with an intermediate schematic that looks something like the following. Here we have R1 in parallel with R2 shunted with the base. We have RL in parallel with RC shunted with the collector. Now, we don't have to draw this every single time. You'll get to the point where you can go directly to the small signal model before doing this, but sometimes it's helpful to see the intermediate steps in between. So the next step is to replace the transistor with the small signal model. Okay, so we'll draw that in just a moment. Okay, now if you recall, shunted with the base, we had a resistor that was R1 in parallel with R2. We know that our small signal model includes a resistor from the base to the emitter called R pi. We know that our emitter had a resistor tied to it that we called R sub E. We know that this current source, this voltage dependent current source, is equal to Gm times VBE. And we know that the collector had a resistor in shunt with it called RC in parallel with RL. All right, so here's our complete circuit, and we are now going to find the voltage gain, V out, over Vn. And in order to do this, we're going to find Kcl on the different terminals of the small signal model. We'll note that sometimes it's easier to use conductance rather than resistance when we're writing these expressions. As an example, we can turn the shunt resistor at the collector, RC in parallel with RL, into a term G sub L. We can invert the output resistance to be G sub O, and likewise invert RE, R pi, and R1 in parallel with R2. Now here we're also going to note that the base terminal is directly tied to the input voltage source, so V sub B is equal to V sub I. And now we can write a Kcl expression at the output node and at the emitter node. At the output node, we have that V out times G sub L plus V out minus the emitter times little g sub 0 plus Gm times VBE equal to 0. And now we can go to the emitter node, and we can say that VE times VB minus Gm times VBE plus VE minus VB is equal to G pi. Times G pi is equal to 0. We note that this expression actually is just equal to minus VBE. Now that we have our Kcl expressions, we can solve for V out in terms of Vi. So you're just going to make substitutions between these two equations using a lot of algebra. And you might want to substitute the conductances for the resistances at the end of this. So I'm just going to write, after a lot of algebra, we can come up with an approximate expression for the voltage gain that's going to be equal to minus Gm over 1 plus Gm times Re times Ro and 1 plus Gm times Re in parallel with Rc in parallel with Rl. So this whole term here is the approximate voltage gain after we do that algebra. Now this is a rather tedious exercise going through all of the algebra, and what we're going to learn is that almost all common emitter amplifiers have a similar form for their voltage gain expression, and so we're going to learn to do inspection analysis in a few days. For the time being, you can take any amplifier, replace the transistor with the small signal model, and use Kcl expressions in order to find voltage gain. It's just tedious with a lot of algebra. In the next video, we're going to do another example.